thank you very much. Live for us there in Nashville. An NBC News exclusive tonight with the head of the FAA warning about the safety culture at Boeing in a one-on-one with our own Lester Holt. Listen.
You recently paid a visit to Boeing. We were able to see some of their manufacturing process. What were some of your impressions?
Well, my impressions were similar to the culture survey that just got completed at Boeing and our audit, which is that there are issues around the safety culture at Boeing, that their priorities have been on production and not on safety and quality. And so what we really are focused on now is shifting that focus from production to safety and quality.
That audit he's referring to, of course, is the FAA's investigation of airlines flood. 50 people hurt. Most recently, an Alaska Airlines plane's windshield getting a little crack in it while descending into Portland from Reagan. Now listen, all of those things happen on Boeing planes. Important to note, that doesn't necessarily mean it's Boeing's fault. We're going to get into that with CNBC's Phil LeBeau, who's joining us now. We'll play a bit more of that interview between Lester and the FAA administrator.
What were certain protocols? Those were not being met in terms of how they approached the production of the airplanes?
Not what you would have expected if safety is the first priority.
One, they're putting together a plan for updating the safety culture as well as quality for a number of years. Doesn't diminish the significance or the fact that they are a little scary when you see those incidents, but it also is not necessarily a Boeing issue. More of a
Get connected to your favorite news shows for the top stories.
Russian or Belarusian athletes participate in the opening ceremony in Paris, with those athletes calling it unacceptable, calling IOC leaders, their words, crazy. That announcement happening as the IOC also sent out a warning to countries around the world for Russia. This is now the second time that they're trying to come out and launch these friendship games. Talk to us about that and how these doping concerns tie into it all.
Yeah, Holly, the friendship games in heavy quotes here, right? Because this is something that's very controversial coming up against the Olympics. And basically, Russia's trying to say this is an opportunity for their athletes to compete on the international stage. And that's because they've been barred from competing as a team in the Olympics. Now, in terms of the plans coming up, you'll see it on your screen here. They're looking for a summer friendships over how they treat women. A similar story in the 2022 Winter Games in Beijing, as well as the Live Golf League in Saudi Arabia, which is funded and run by the kingdom. Its ability to hold up to what they call the doping standards. Basically, they put out a statement as well talking about how, because we've seen issues in the past, they said they show total disrespect for the global anti-doping standards and the integrity of competitions. They also point out the fact that there's the possibility that Russian athletes potentially competing in both the neutral independent athlete section that the Olympics are allowing could be competing both in midsummer and later in the summer, which only increases the potential that they could be
At the time, an unknown